Now you see, this is what happens when you want to give out passes and let people say the N-word. Now black people want to take the N-word back and want to police it again. Ladies and gentlemen of the Ring Fit Nation, welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, I'm happy to have you. The use of the N-word has become a viral topic of discussion. And a Mexican rapper named That Mexican Rapper OT, I think I got that right, went on, I believe it was Angela Yee's podcast, and he did an interview, which we're going to watch. And he said pretty much, I could use the N-word, what you gonna do about it? Well, a rapper by the name of Sauce Walka didn't like what he heard, and this is what he had to say. We're going to get into that as well, but before we get to all of that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and of course check out hashtag Ring Fit Network in the comments to stay up to date and never miss a video.
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can't say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here. Okay, well, we're gonna use him. What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know? And then second of all, I grew up loving these.
My problem with what he just said, right, and how he's saying it, is that he is saying this shit in a room full of women. Nothing tough about saying it that way in a room full of women. Even if you feel that way, right? I can say the N-word, what we gonna do about it? It's a bunch of women in there. What you expect them to get up and fight you? Why would you even come with that kind of energy? I bet if it was a bunch of men in there, a bunch of men who was about that action, he wouldn't be talking like that. And I'm not even mad at him for using the N-word. I'm just being honest. Let's go.
I grew up fighting with them. I grew up eating with them. I grew up doing bad shit. I grew up loving with them. And I got family. And it's not even about family. Even if I wasn't related to nobody, I'm black. I mean, it was. It's what I was surrounded by, you know?
But anyway, so that was That Mexican OT. That was the interview that sparked this reaction from Sauce Walka.
Hey man, say man, kid that did Sauce Walka. I did an interview last night. Shout out to my boy Dan's a project. He'll be dropping song. The subject in hand, Mexican OT. See now, at first when I was speaking on what I was speaking on, I was only talking about the shit I seen on Say Cheese with the girl and all that on Say Cheese. My bro Danza showed me the interview and showed me exactly verbatim what Mexican OT said on the interview on the podcast with all the women. OT, bitch, you wrong, ho. I'm gonna tell you why you wrong, little bro. I'm gonna tell you why you wrong, OT. And you got a black brother. That's what you partially was finna get into it, but you didn't want to get into it. Know what I'm saying? You got a whole 50% black brother that's mixing a real little nigga that's your brother, so you should feel 100%. He should feel, a motherfucker feel what I'm saying. What about this part? I ain't fucked up with you about saying, can you say nigga because you grew up with us, went through all this shit with us, you love us, you been through everything that been through.
And don't get this twisted, right? I don't think it's a big deal if other people say the word, right? I don't. For one, it's just a word. Two, we use it as a term of endearment. And I feel like when it comes to the N-word, it's about the message behind it, the meaning behind you saying it to me. If you're saying it in a racist, derogatory manner, then we have a problem. But if you're saying it as a term of endearment, then we cool, you know. But like I said at the top of my video, black people, you guys have... These Hispanics and non-blacks have been saying the N-word for years in their songs, on songs with black artists. Now all of a sudden we want to take the word back. And the crazy thing is we didn't even invent the word. I'll let this finish.
That's why you say you can say the problem and the issue is the fact when you say in a room full of women.
I agree.
Is there any black niggas in here? Is there any in here? Well, if it is, what you gonna do about it?
I agree. I literally just said that. I totally agree with that. That was some pussy shit.
That's where you fucked up at, brother. That's where the disrespect is. Because, OT, you know, if you was in a room full of violent niggas from Houston, full of violent niggas like myself, TSF, any niggas that's really from the H like that, and we was having that conversation and you said it in that way.
I agree.
Y'all said, because who's going to do shit about it? Niggas have been 6 niggas in a room raising their hands saying they want to fight you. You know that. You know how this shit get down in Houston. You a Texas Crip. If a come up to you and say, Mexican OT, you ain't no motherfucking Crip. And what you gonna do about it? You gonna want to fight about this? In the room gonna say, who ain't what squabble? And that's where the disrespect and the up part is, OT. Because at the end of the day, you know there's nothing but women in that room. There's a bunch of girls in that room. It was a now violent street that come from where you come from and been through what you.
Facts, all facts, all facts. I agree completely.
You've been through, or that's from somewhere else that's gonna disagree with you and with that statement to the point to where they'll fight you about that or they'll do something about that. So therefore, that's what people in the general public gonna take it like that's hoe shit, because you're doing something in a setting where people gonna consider it where it's safe to say that right then and right there. Yep. Would you possibly say that around a room full of a bunch of though in this heated conversation? Now, secondly, aside of the Mexican OT shit, I also blame these fucking blog sites, these fucking interviewers, these platforms. Why do y'all constantly ask? I know why y'all do it. Y'all do it for click views, clickbait, all that other shit. But y'all gotta stop asking motherfucking rappers and certain celebrities these uncomfortable questions, and then be off when you get the certain type of answer that you get, or these artists respond in an uncomfortable way because they was asked an uncomfortable question when they really came here to promote their album. They really came here to talk about their career.
I mean, but respectfully to that, right? If you guys are doing interviews, like say for example, I'm doing an interview with one of you guys, right? If I'm asking you questions about stuff that's not what you came to talk about, how hard is it for you to be like, I'm not talking about that. I'm here to talk about my album. No, I want to promote my album. I'm not talking about that. Shut that shit down. You don't just because a question is asked to you doesn't mean you have to answer it. Nah, I'm here to talk about my album. I don't want to talk about that goofy shit. Right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's go.
They really came here to talk about positive shit, and y'all mother steady dumping and pushing negative questions and negative energy down the mother throat, put them on the spotlight when they trying to interview. Feel me? So that's my motherfucking last sense on the shit, cause I ain't know, and I still don't give a. But all I'm gonna say is this: everything's about love and respect. When you do it and it's not out of love, or you trying to be too tough with the shit, then that's where it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta earn that toughness, brother. So I'll tell you, bitch, I love you. If you mad at me, I don't give a. I'm just telling the truth, and that's what's real, blood. Just like I say all that other shit I said about the messages and get on ass, I will get on your ass like I get on anybody's ass. Bitch, you wrong for that, hoe. You wrong, and the interviews is wrong for how they did it and chopped it up and only put that part out of there because you said a bunch of positive shit about black after the fact, but it's the fact that you in a room full of four women, and you said you know it's no up in there, and you said, well, shit, is it around? Because if it was a real niggas around, who gonna stop me? You can't say that like that, blood, because nigga, you boy, yeah, niggas fight for nothing and niggas fight for less. Do shit for less and do shit for nothing. So you know what I'm saying? You can't do that like that, brother. But other than that,
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree. All right, I agree completely. Now, while I personally think it's not necessary to fight somebody over the use of a word, right? I don't think it's that serious. But he's right. Sauce is right. Sauce is right. Dudes, I don't want to say the N word. I almost slipped. Dudes fight for less. We beat each other up. We kill each other for a whole lot less than this. So he is not lying. And for Mexican OT to say it that way in a room full of women was, I don't know. That was, like I said, man, as a man, you don't get no points for talking for having that kind of tone and being tough in a room full of women. You just don't. You just don't. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments.